Paul and Natalia were tired. But because I'm endlessly hyperactive, I was not. So I went for a walk to the Dalat night market and walking streets.
Lots of clothes as usual.
Dalat has a temperate, gentle climate, almost year-round, which is why French invaders made it into their own personal getaway and were eager to plant many crops here. The tradition of fruit, veggie, legume, and flower growing remains, and many products are made from this clear abundance. I also ran into some long-lost family members from another life I lead at home.
These are my brother from another metal mother. It's quite lively here this evening. Most of the vendors selling clothes and dried fruit, various fruit candies, and lots of clothes, and a whole damn food market as well.
I was happy to see the same vendor in this same spot as last time selling a delicious treat.
Banom la dua. These are delicious. Come on. So the peanuts have some mui, which is salt. They come burning hot like that.
Peanut.
She puts the peanuts inside
Coconut.
with coconut, rolls it in rice paper, and wraps it in a little plastic. So 2 of those for less than $1. Come on.
Thank you.
Good night. Tambia.
And I did finally reluctantly go to bed.
Today we're doing some typical tourist stuff. Starting with Datanla Falls. Buddha keeping us safe.
Datanla Waterfall is the busiest and most touristy falls in this area, but it is a cheap grab ride because it is only 6 kilometers away from the city center.
We're going right for it, buying the coaster tickets, getting on the coaster right away.
The falls themselves are pretty, but not jaw-dropping, but it is still a nice time for a couple of hours.
Who's got a nice new dress? The large coaster was closed today, so we're doing the small one. I've got to put this away because I can't use it while I'm on the ride. You getting ready to plunge to your death? Sure. I mean, coast to your freedom.
Yeah. It boasts 2 alpine gravity coasters, one of which is said to be the biggest in all of Southeast Asia. Just our luck, it was out of service on the day we arrived, so we tried out the smaller original one. It was fun, but you can really only go as fast as the slowest, most timid person ahead of you.
Me. Picture for Donna. For Donna. For Donna. For Donna. Donna. For Donna.
And if I'm being honest, the decor there is rather hokey. Not a bad thing, just saying.
And you even get a round trip where you go back up to the top.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Quite an
Can you
angle.
show it?
Yeah.
That's quite an angle indeed.
Am I squishing you?
No.
Just the squishy bits? How was your experience?
It was good until he just stuck his tiny little thumb really hard into my leg and then looked at me.
Did it make you move faster?
No.
After that little jaunt, we headed back to the city to see the flower garden and do a bit of random shopping.
3 delicious fruits. We've got snake fruit, another type of snake fruit that's double the price, and tamarind. Snake fruit kind of tastes like strawberry mixed with like lychee, mixed with like mango or kiwi, something like that. They are a delicacy, kind of like an interesting little peel. In the middle there, they come off kind of like a lychee. This bag of snake fruit, $2. Taking a little stroll through the Dalat flower garden. Not a ton to see, but it's nice. How's it?
Good.
Morning. Yeah, beautiful.
If you like to cook and also happen to love your veggies or be vegan, this place is an absolute dream.
Oh, very nice.
The selection and freshness of veggies and fruits are stunning. And be sure to try all the dried fruits and everything else.
I found your store. Is that your store?
That night, we visited a spot that is quite impressive.
so glad that this place is still open. Natalia and I came here 6 years ago, and it's a bar with an elaborate maze inside. The admission? Buy a drink.
These shots aren't all going to make sense. They're only a tiny fraction of the actual place because I'm really only showing that which is lit well enough to give an idea of this vast and impressive place, and it must really be experienced in its winding vastness in your own way. So what is Maze Bar, and why?
Let's
This
move
six-story, elaborate dreamscape that sometimes leans post-apocalyptic and dystopian in its feeling is an eclectic mix of quirky, folk-artsy, nature-inspired,
Here we go.
gaudy-esque, Dali-esque scenes
Lots
that
of little places
evoke wonder.
that you can find to just have a seat.
Or is that the beer and
Oh, that's
spirits
right.
they
What
serve
the
there? Up to you.
Hard to see, but everything's all stoned in.
It has secret rooftop and outdoor spaces. And it is clear that it is inspired by Dalat's city center itself, a winding, hilly, sometimes disorienting array of tiny streets with steep alleys and staircases. Something that is 100 meters away as the crow flies can require a 10 to 20 minute walking detour to make your way to the correct spot.
Nothing like this would ever work in Canada because fire regulations would shut it down, liability would shut it down. It's just so beautiful. This is so much work.
The Maze Bar is no different in many ways. Its highest point is a moonlit bar, and you'll see secret gardens and other patios and sitting areas along the way. The basement presents an underwater theme, but you might not be able to make a straight line to any of these points. Just enjoy these detours as part of the experience.
How'd that get here? This is so much work. Natalia.
Some of its plaster sculptures and hallways have a theme park feel, but it is really a lot more than a hokey place to buy what is technically a more expensive drink than the rest of Vietnam may sell. This place is called by many names: House of 1,000 Roofs, 100 Roof Cafe, Crazy Cafe.
If you want.
But it is actually somewhat the twisted offspring of another nearby attraction called Crazy House, a guest house even more huge and weird and just weird that we will stay at for 2 nights in our next video. The Maze Bar was inspired by the architect of Crazy House and built by one of her students starting in the early to mid-1990s. Maze Bar officially opened in the early 2000s after its first smaller iteration in another location was destroyed by fire. It remained a relative secret until the early YouTube era began to do its thing, and now it is a main tourist stop for foreigners looking for an oddball experience alongside of good old-fashioned drinking, dancing, and exploring. There is no price of admission, but as I was referencing earlier, drinks are about double the price of what you'd pay at the store. So this means it's about $2 to $3 for a can of beer and $1.50 for a soft drink. So it's unlikely to break your bank considering the entertainment of getting lost in a wacky maze.
There's also a basement.
There's 2 floors to be. It goes down the side.
The octopus? Holy, this was a lot of work. Jeez.
We spent 2 hours there, and even compared to our last visit, we saw so much more than before. You may opt to simply sit in one of the easier access areas as well. There is no right or wrong way. In our next video, we'll show you the mother project that spawned Maze Bar, which is another just bizarre and over-the-top experience to visit or to even stay at in Dalat.
Where are you? What?
For Vegan Everywhere being amazed in Dalat, I'm David.